Yeesh.
Sigma are we
Is this
talking
some
about
new
today?
word kids have come up with that you're now trying to use to sound young?
You caught me. Seriously though, these slang terms can be so obnoxious.
Do you even know if you use that term correctly?
Ran it by Sunny Boy before I used it, so yeah.
All right, well, I say go ahead and 86 that from your vocabulary, and let's go ahead and get started on this episode. Full send.
Hello, and welcome to Adulthood as a Project, the show where two sisters discuss the lessons learned and growth earned through the realities of life. I'm Charlie, and you all know my sister Casey, and we're your hosts.
In today's episode, we will discuss buzzwords. We will also discuss the ins and outs of using them too much and using them properly. Let's get started. Okay, so Charlie got herself a new little setup and she's gonna be playing tonight.
We got a new toy. Oh man, all right, I had to test that out for you listeners. I hope you liked it. Something a little fun in there for you. All right, so buzzwords. So a buzzword, it's a word or phrase that's become fashionable at a particular time. Obviously, people throw the terms around loosely, and I find buzzwords kind of annoying.
You also have to think about the fact that I think with buzzwords, there's different buzzwords for different settings, right? I mean, like just your day-to-day buzzwords, I guess. I mean, for example, right now, as a teacher, I'm so sick and tired of hearing, "What the Sigma?" and "no cap."
Wait, is the no cap coming from the students, though?
Both of those are coming from the students. They're not coming from teachers.
What was the other one you said? No sigma?
What the Sigma?
Oh, okay. I gotta be honest, when you said what's the sigma, I was thinking of what's that? I think it's Sid Sigma, and there's like a training you go through to oh my gosh, like I can't think of the right word to use, but you take, say, a project that would normally take you 10 steps, and with the Sid Sigma approach to it, you can narrow that down to 5 steps instead of wasting your time. So I thought you were saying teachers were saying to use the Sid Sigma.
No, the students, this is like their new favorite phrase. What the Sigma?
I gotta be honest, I don't even, what does that mean? I can't even fathom.
It's
Like instead of saying what the hell?
Yeah. I mean, I guess. I don't even know what these kids mean.
The was it in the movie The Clueless, where they're like, "Oh, that's so fetch," and our parents were like, "What the hell does fetch mean?" I mean,
was it Clues? Yeah, I think it was.
I think it was. So we all start using fetch like it's this awesome word. So maybe that's what the Sigma is, just off of a movie or something that we wouldn't have
I mean,
seen.
I know what I will tell you that I do know what show it's off of. I know that much at least.
Oh, so it is off a show though.
It's like a YouTube show
Oh, good.
about
Great.
like decapitated heads in toilets. Why these kids are watching it, I don't know.
That's crazy, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It sounds like a show I wouldn't even want to watch.
I mean, like, okay. So those two right now, I don't know if they're necessarily, I mean, I guess they're buzzwords. I just consider it more slang, I guess, at the time.
I think that buzzword and slang are they can be similar. They're not always the same thing, obviously, but I think they're similar. I was also kind of off that slang topic, but then on kind of back to buzzwords. So I'm like, I guess it is the same because what the Sigma, the kids are saying shit like that we don't know, or I don't know.
Right.
You have the other, buzzwords like the one that probably drives me the baddest right now anyway is narcissist. And that's what I'm like, it's a legit term. It has a legit meaning. There is a time and place to use it, but people throw it around so loosely. And it's like, oh, they're a narcissist. Are they? Or do they just have narcissistic tendencies and you're now just labeling them a narcissist because you heard the word and it sounds so much better to you than being like, you know what, like they're not a true narcissist.
Yeah. Yeah, that is I would say the one that is probably driving me the craziest right now would be trauma.
Oh, dude.
Listen.
Yes.
I'm so tired of hearing about, oh, they have trauma, their parents got divorced. I'm sorry, like that's just everyday life. That's growing up.
Yes, I feel like they're using trauma for everything that is something that it's like that's just kind of normal, dude. Like and granted, maybe there's something to be said for it, okay? And I'll say that in the sense of, how we were raised compared to how people are raising their kids these days. There's a lot more, I think, compassion and empathy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, compassion.
What did you say?
I said pussified.
Yeah, that too. Because there starts to be that level of all of a sudden something that's like, hey man, been a little chaos in the house lately. You and I's dad are going through divorce, so it's been a little stressful around here, but everything's fine. Now it's like, there's gonna be some trauma in our house. Now it hasn't happened yet, but, and then they like prep everyone around them for this kid's trauma they're about to go through. And I hate to say it, and I, should have looked up statistics on this, but I would say half of all marriages end in divorce. So the odds of a kid coming from a divorced family are not that traumatic, if you will. I mean, it could be. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I guess.
Well,
maybe your dad's narcissistic or something.
True. I was gonna go along the lines of like, if there's physical abuse in the family and the mom has to run away in the middle of the night. I'm like, oh, that's kind of flippin' traumatic, but
no, I know there can be, but also it's just one of those things where I think with that trauma, like what we're talking about, like where we say, oh, we're getting divorced, and so Junior might be, feeling this and that. There's all this trauma. Well, you're just setting it up for Junior to act like a jackass and giving him an excuse.
Yes, absolutely. Like at that point, you're almost telling the kid, hey, you've had trauma. So now I'm telling you you've had trauma. So now you have a reason to act like a little shit, right?
Exactly.
Like, come on.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then another think about, thankfully, I do not work in a setting that does this, but I think about office jobs, right? Like, there's all those, what do they use? Like synergy, or we'll circle back to that and touch base. It gives people some odd impression that you're doing so much more work or something, or that you're more important than you actually are. You don't need to say, I'll circle back to that. Just say, dude, I'll get back with you in a week. Tell me what your answer is.
Let's think outside the box.
Yes, let's.
Yeah. I would say though, you say you don't work in a place like that, but there are going to be buzzwords for different settings. So what you were saying is that you don't work in a place where there are buzzwords being used, but I bet there are some buzzwords within your setting, right? Because say in my setting in education, we don't use the buzzwords like synergy, or let's circle back to that. We use buzzwords like data-driven, rigorous academics, social emotional learning.
Yeah, don't know. I won't even start on that one.
And of course, all the PDs I have to sit through, and I cannot tell you the amount of times I have to hear, remember your why.
And yeah, listeners, a PD is her professional development day.
Oh, yeah, that is perfect.
That's okay.
It's because that's a buzzword. It's professional development.
And some of our listeners might be teachers and they might understand that. But for those of us that aren't and don't maybe know a teacher, FYI.
And all those teachers that are listening are like, I hate when they say, remember your why.
Remember your why. That sounds like, I mean, that's like part of it. It sounds motivational, but at some point when you're hearing it constantly or trying to be used in that setting, oh my gosh, you could stop with that one, right?
Yes.
I'm I don't know particularly because though I work for such a small company, right? There's 3 employees and our owner. So we don't really use buzzwords with anything. And then I was trying to think in a restaurant setting, but those are more like terms. I don't think they're, when you're like, oh, we're 86 that or
Right.
heard like I heard you. But I
Yeah.
don't know that those would be buzzwords as much as they're just used kind of like restaurant wise. Like it's not some
Right.
new thing people are using.
Yeah, right. And obviously it's not overused because
Right.
when you're 86 something, you're 86 something, you have to know
Hey,
it.
you know what? As a server that has to tell the customer you're something's 86, it can be overused.
I never tell a customer something's 86th. I just like,
No, you
we're
just
out of that.
right, but that's that's what I'm saying. I've had a day where it's like you have that customer who seems to order every damn thing that you're out of, and you're like, "Listen, man, the truck gets delivered tomorrow. So sorry."
I had a night just the other day where the customer ordered something, put the order in, and usually if something's 86, they'll take it off of because we use the toast system where we're just taking the order on the
Oh,
tablet,
okay.
right? So usually if it's 86, it will, like my tablet will be like, no, you can't order that.
Yeah, that makes
So-
sense to me for sure.
So they ordered something, everything's fine. I put the order in, I walk away, I come back, and the bartender's like, hey, we're 86 that. I was like, oh, okay. So I run back, I tell the table, hey, we're 86 Stella. I get you Michelob Ultra, right? And they're like, that's fine, we'll do it. So I did. Then I get back to the kitchen, and they're like, oh, hey, we're 86. I'm like, seriously? I already took the order. Why are we not updating toast?
You're like, do not make me go back to that table and tell them one more thing we're out of at this point either. Like, come on, man.
I know.
Oh God. Oh,
Oh.
that's it.
Oh man. But yeah, so I do know different settings can have like different buzzwords. Like I was saying, like with education. I'm so over social emotional learning.
I probably would be too, to be honest with you. I would struggle with. There's a lot of stuff though, teaching wise, I would totally struggle with, which is why I am not a teacher. And
Right. Like dealing with kids and not being drunk at work.
right. Hey, are you implying that I go to work drunk right now?
No. I meant like if you had to work with kids, you might want to be drunk at work.
Oh. Yes, I would. Yes, I would need to drink at work if I worked with kids. As much as I don't, because we are a small company, I don't deal with all that, if you will, business jargon often. But I do see it from our customers at times or from people trying to get our business. And they'll say something, in an email and they're like, I'll circle back to you in a few months. And I'm thinking, you don't got to be like that with me, man. I'm just normal human being. And I by no means need you to circle back. Just, text me, email me back in a couple months and I might have some more information for you. But right now I got nothing. And when I see it, it cracks me up,
Yeah.
Like I don't got to get all serious about this stuff, but I guess it all comes from somewhere. When you talk, what'd you say? What does sigma?
Yeah.
I think of like words we were probably using as kids, right? Like besides that fetch we were saying,
Rad.
or whatever.
Man, that's rad, man.
I was gonna say rad. You know what's crazy? I have a friend and she to this day still uses rad and I love it. I'm like, yeah, you never hear rad anymore. And she uses it not even to like make a joke or anything. Like she seriously just still uses it. She doesn't overuse it. She doesn't, but you'll be doing something. It's like, oh, that's rad. I'm like, that is rad, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Man, I forgot that was a good word. I can't think of all the ones.
Or I'm sure I feel like we probably went through a phase, right? Because of the shows we watched where we were like, you got it, dude.
Oh, I did more than cut it out.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely did that.
Oh, man. Dang it. And it left my head because I had another one I was thinking before you said that you got it, dude. When I was thinking shows we watched, oh, man, I'm not going to remember what it was now. Dang it. I had a good one in there of something that we were watching that
Did
probably
I do that?
Yes. Little Urkel time.
I think everybody knows what we were up to on Friday nights in our childhood.
They were wild.
Boo!
TGIF. So yeah, I'm sure like there was a time of us overusing those, or not those particular ones, but ones in general, right? And it probably got annoying. This might have been 3 months ago or something. I don't know if now's a good time to tell the listeners, but I get most of my news from Facebook. Okay, so I don't watch the news. I don't pay attention to things like, and I can tell a little story on that, but I'd go with this buzzword before I forget where I was going with this. I was like, why is everyone using the word demure? And I kept seeing it on a post or a reel. I had to be that person that is like, I better go Google it. So I have to go Google, why is the word demure popular right now? That is all because I guess someone used it on some TikTok video. And I still don't even know. I was,
Okay, so you have to Google it. I just go ask one of my kids.
yeah. Oh, yeah, you could ask one. Actually, I should ask one of your kids from now on, but then they're going to be like, come on, Aunt, try to stay with the times.
No, they know. Because I actually ended up texting the flower child and being like, what's this hawk tuh thing? Why is it hawk tuh? And she's like, okay, Mom, I'm going to explain this to you later. I was like, okay. And she's like, is something new is going on? She's like, yeah, something new is going on.
I had to Google that one too. I was like, and reading it, I was like, this isn't making sense. Like, hawk toi. Huh? And then after looking at me like, but I still can't understand why this blew up.
It is weird. I'm like, look, we've all been doing that for a while. She's not the first one to come up with it. She's the first one to say it out loud, I guess. I don't know.
Preach it, sister. Preach it. That's true. She's the first one caught on camera saying it. I don't know what. That's when I know I'm getting like older. I'm like, why do I have to Google all this stuff that I don't understand?
Yeah.
And in regards to that, part of me wishes this was a fake story, and there's another side of me that's like glad it's actually true because like this is just who I am. So I don't watch the news. I don't really pay attention to a lot of stuff. I get my info on Facebook. So about 4 years ago, I start noticing over a certain weekend that everyone's like saying stuff about Corona. And I immediately like, what's going on with Corona beer? Did they do something? I was like, was there a bad batch of Corona beer? This is really strange. And fast forward another 3 days, I keep seeing more like, this Corona is ridiculous. I'm like, what is that? Like, I literally went and Googled, like, what's going on with Corona beer? Nothing's showed up. So I go to work and I look at my boss like, dude, I'm sorry if I'm going to sound dumb, but she's, at the time, she doesn't as much now. She's always like in PR, watching the news, knows what's going on in the world. I'm like, what? I hate to sound dumb, but I got to be honest. I do not understand what's going on with Corona. Like, did something happen with their, like, did they have a bad shipment of bottles? She goes, what are you talking about? I'm like, I see it all over Facebook. Like, for the past 3 days, people are talking about Corona. She goes, there's a virus going around. I was like, oh, seriously? I was so lost. And it took me another 3 days to wrap my head around that this was actually a virus and nothing to do with the beer. Because there's so many other stupid buzzwords. And I mean, all of a sudden, Demure's big over the weekend. And what if that happened? And they're like, well, that's what we're calling that virus. Wait, what? Like, I don't know.
Oh, man. Well, no, what I was going to laugh about, and I guess it's not really a buzzword, but me and you,
What?
everything, I will say the in front of everything. So like
Walmart?
down at the Walmart, and he said something to the flower child the other day. I said something about, well, I just don't understand the TikTok. And she's like, obviously you don't, Mom. Like, it's just TikTok. I'm like, yeah, I don't understand the TikTok.
That you're right though. I definitely do that. And I'm like, was that from a movie? Like, did we start doing that from some movie?
I don't know. But
I
I
don't
just do it all the time.
I do it quite a bit too, honestly. Probably if I just rewind this, I think I said the Facebook.
You probably did.
Oh man. Back to a little bit more on the buzzwords though. Just cracking up, but I was thinking about when we were kind of talking about the trauma or narcissist, that term depressed.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like I understand depression and I also understand sadness and I understand the difference. And I think, unfortunately, because you get attention when you're depressed or when you've had trauma from a toxic, narcissistic relationship. Right? But people use those words, and I'm like, if you're sad for a couple of days, like that's normal. Those are called feelings. We let them work through our body. We learn from them. We get, understand like that's human. But just because you're sad for a couple of days doesn't mean you're depressed.
Right.
And then
You're just
people that are
bummed
like
out.
like people that are truly battling depression, it almost
It makes
does
light
it
of the
take
situation.
they what?
It makes light. It makes light of the situation.
Yes. Yeah. Like it invalidates what they're actually going through. Because more people are, everyone's depressed. No, like I have serious depression, right? Like the whole I can't get out of bed. I can't like legit.
Yes.
It makes it seem like they have nothing because everyone's depressed.
Right. I agree. And that's the same. And it would go back to like trauma again, where absolutely some people have trauma, right? Like perhaps you watched your dad kill your mom. I don't know. Something crazy.
That would be some trauma.
That's going to be traumatic. But your dad cheating on your mom, I mean, welcome to the club, buddy.
For real.
Unless
you walked in on him doing it, like that could be a bit traumatic.
Ew.
I've never done that. I'm just saying I could imagine that being traumatic. That's all.
Oh, yeah. But it was one of those things where I was thinking about trauma is definitely an overused word in the education department. Really big. Yeah. Right? So I all the time have to hear about how these kids have trauma. And they'll start telling me things about how these kids, their families are. And I just think, oh, that sounds just like my family. I don't know what the problem is. You didn't see me throwing chairs across the room. Like, I still didn't throw chairs across the classroom just because I was home alone after school.
No, I know. I think back to our previous episode about the bullying and the anti-bullying, at some point, these overused words, like they really do take and diminish someone's actual real experience if they're truly going through something. And it just makes it harder for me personally, I guess, I find it harder to empathize with someone when they are first like, I've been through some real trauma. I immediately like block out the word trauma, put up a receptor in my head of listen to whatever else bullshit they're going to say before you believe anything they just said. Right. So I immediately am like, oh, you're someone that overuses stupid words because you don't understand the effect that has on people that have actually been through it. Please tell me more.
I know. I think, well, okay, so, five of the biggest stressors in life, like life events, would be moving, divorce, loss of a loved one, job loss, and major illness. These are the 5 top stressors.
Those all make sense to me too.
Yeah. I went through 3 of the 5 in a matter of 2 months.
Yeah.
At no point was I saying, oh, I have all this trauma in my life. I was just like, wow, this is really stressful.
This shit sucks.
But people will be, what's your trauma? I don't have trauma.
For
I have
real.
some shit that happened, but it's shit that happened.
Exactly what I was going to say. I'm like, I've had shit happen to me. Don't get me wrong. I don't, some of it, like, I just don't classify as trauma.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff that there was some trauma, but it was something I really don't even bring up, right? But I'm also like, I've done my work or whatever through, so I don't even sit there and be like, oh, I have trauma. I'm like, oh God, like, I almost forgot about that one because it's so old. I've already worked through it. It's so far in my past that I, just don't even, I don't know, can't even, I won't say, oh my God, I never think of this thing that happened. But I'm like, I don't use it as a defining point in my life to then go base the rest of my life on. I've had trauma, just a really depressed person. And
And so I'm going to go down to the Walmart and throw some food around.
yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
And I'll have my mom call the manager and explain to her that I've had a lot of trauma in my life. So that's just why I did it.
You're just having big feelings. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh, big feelings. I get those at least twice a month. 2 days a month, I should say. Just having big feelings over here.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned the word manifest to me the other day. And that's one for me that I did not think of at all as a buzzword. However, it is a word that I use a lot. I just tend to more use it like mentally in my head than I do out loud with other people. So that one was an interesting one to me.
So in the conversation, did it feel like it was an overused word, or were they using it like as if they actually understand what they're doing?
No. I had made a comment that we were going to talk about buzzwords because someone was asking about what is your show kind of thing. And I was like, I talk about all kinds of different topics. It just depends. Like, is it all serious? Some of it, yeah, for sure can be. And some of it's just silly, like talking about buzzwords. And immediately like, oh, manifest. And I was like, that's a weird, I would not have thought that. But if you think about the term, right? Like for me, narcissist is narcissist. Like it's annoying to me right now because I hear it a lot from multiple different people, honestly. Oh, I'm so sick of that word. And I understand it. And it's even technically for sure, one person is definitely using it in the right context. It's just because I hear it in other multiple places because I think I see it on reels. I see it on posts, stuff like that. Like I just see it in a lot of places that I'm done with that word. So perhaps that person felt that same way about the word manifest. Like they might be just seeing it a lot. So it's not necessarily that it's a buzzword per se.
I do know what you mean about the narcissist though, because at this point, I feel like everybody thinks that their ex is a narcissist.
Yeah, I thought it was just me that was thinking that.
I'm like, I'm not saying they don't seem to have some narcissistic tendencies, but there might be something else going on there.
Right. And now I'm like, the toxic relationship. I don't know a better term for stuff either. Right? So
maybe you look up a thesaurus. Use a thesaurus. Have you used one of those lately?
I have not used one lately, but they are a great tool.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Like, man.
So I will say, like, you got to be careful in using them, right? Because so when we were younger, the term cool, I thought, oh man, I'm going to use a thesaurus. I'm going to find a different word besides cool. And I need you to understand, I was pretty young, right? And, cool means like chilly,
cold. Oh, oh my God. Yeah. You didn't realize that. And you were trying to find a word for instead of being cool, you wanted to be fly.
Right. I wanted to be fly. And so then I just sound like an idiot.
What word did you use? What word did you use instead of cool? I don't remember this.
Yeah, well, because I'm sure I didn't even tell you about it. I was pretty embarrassed. It was at school, and I was trying to sound cool. So somebody said something. I was like, "Oh man, that's cold."
Okay, yeah.
They're
Didn't
like,
go over
"Oh,
well, did it?
it didn't. It didn't." They kind of made fun of me, and then I got bullied a little bit that day. But guess who didn't use that term again, huh? I mean, come on.
It's like, so you learned a lesson from getting bullied and didn't talk like a dumbass anymore, huh?
Yeah. So just make sure you know what you're doing when you're looking things up in the thesaurus.
I would it's like make sure when you're using the thesaurus that you understand that the word you're trying to replace needs to, like, cool for the slang vibe of it meant neat-o.
Neato.
Pretty flat for a white guy. And it did not mean the minute you said, I was gonna thought you were gonna be like, and I said frigid.
Frigid. I probably couldn't read that big of a word back then. God.
That's probably too much for your little tiny brain at the time. So yeah, you definitely gotta make sure you're looking up the right terms for the source. Thank goodness for the old Goog, because I use the Google all the time to like, what's the word that means this? But you say, and I start Google's. If someone looked at my Google history, like, what is wrong with her?
Who's this old lady?
Because I can't think of the right words to use for things. But it's because I'm trying to think of the damn old like slang saying that it was for something, and I'm never going to find it on Google. I don't know why I think I'm going to, and yet I still try to use it sometimes. So, oh jeez. All right, I will say our lesson learned and growth earned on this: stay woke, stay lit, stay jive. But keep in mind, if you are going to jump on a buzzword train, make sure you understand the full meaning of it. Remember that using buzzwords can lead to unclear communication and a possibility of coming off as insincere in your meaning. You can always have fun with them, though. Mic drop.
In our next episode, we'll explore perimenopause. You're going to get our hot flash on that. Thanks for listening. Until next time, go out there and be your favorite self.
Yes. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. Well, if you have a topic you'd like us to discuss in a future episode, send us an email, shoot us a message. You can email us at adulthoodisaproject@gmail.com. We can catch all your comments under our YouTube videos as well. And make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite listening platform to catch all our future episodes.